PTF 6MX2037. As part of our continuing efforts to keep our partners and customers informed of our software releases, I will take you through the main features and enhancements to the Maxava HA software contained within PTF 6MX2037. GUI version 6MXG2010 also assists with this PTF to be able to set up and view temporal table replication. Maxava, always setting the standard for new functionality on the IBMI, now has support for temporal tables. Temporal tables were introduced on the IBMI as part of the 7.3 operating system release. They allow you to keep historical versions of the table's data. With this historical data, a customer gains the ability to review data from past points in time. Support for replication to a history table has now been added to the Maxava application. If you are already making use of temporal tables and history tables, you can enable replication of them in the same way you would any physical file. Now I will demonstrate how to use the GUI to convert a table to a temporal table and a history table. Ensure the current system connection is the source system. Click on Tools, then click on Temporal Tables. This displays the existing temporal tables being replicated. To create a new temporal table and history table, right-click, then click on Create New Temporal Table. You are converting an existing physical file to become your temporal table, so enter the name of the physical file and library here. The history table will be created during this process, and I like to use a name similar to the temporal table. Then click on OK and Yes to convert file. As you can see, the temporal table demo temp1 and history table demo hist1 have now been created. Now I'd like to show you this in a working scenario. Here I have the table demo temp1 on my source machine. Change using DFU, and you can see I have record 1, user ID a series of 5 zeros and username a series of 5 zeros. Now let's pop over to my target system and I will display the table here. The series of 5 zeros for user ID and the same for username. Backing out of here, we can look at my history table. And we will find that it is currently blank. Back to the source system. Now I'd like to make a change to my user ID and username. And we will see this change reflected on the target system. Going back to the target, into the temporal table, and we can see the change has occurred. Now if we go into the history table, we will see the previous records existing in the history table. And there are the series of 5 zeros. Once again, I'll go back to the source system and make another change to the record number 1. And across to the target system, into the file. We can see the change reflected there, and then back out and into the history file we'll see the A's now being added as the latest record, along with the previous record. You can also see the date stamp and time of the previous change. Temporal table support will also be available on Enterprise and SMB versions of Maxava HA. We also have these additional items addressed on PTF 6MX2037. Please refer to the cover letter for more details and for installation instructions. Thank you for your time.